Hello and welcome to game 2 in the best of 21 series between TheViper and DauT. For those of you who have watched the first game already, you will know that the current score is 1-0 to TheViper, and we're going to be looking at game 2 right now, which is going to be on Yucatan, and it's going to be a Mongol war. So down to the bottom of the map in yellow we do have DauT himself as Mongols, and up to the top of the map in green we do have TheViper playing as Mongols as well. And we'll have a look at the maps, and we'll talk a little bit about why Mongols are so good, and well, not so good, but you know, so suited to Yucatan. In Yucatan there is a lot of hunt, there is a lot of food available, and this is really good for Mongol players because the 50% hunt bonus that they get. So as you can see down here, there is one boar for TheViper in this over to the right of his town centre, and there are two boar over here to the left of his town centre, and he should be able to lure those back once he gets loom, and he'll have 3 boars available to him. Not only that, but he's got double the berry bushes, he's got plenty of turkeys around as well. He even has a little pond here with some shore fish in, so he could actually gather some fish from there with villagers if he wanted to. Perhaps if he put a mill on these berries, he could take the shore fish here as well, and that would be a huge food boost for him also. As well as a large amount of deer in the centre of the map, as well as all the other food that we've seen already. That does mean that there is a lot of food on the map, and playing as Mongols is great on Yucatan just purely because of that hunt bonus with that 50% extra hunt. We have a look over at DauT's map, see what he's got nearby. As you see, 2 boars right next to his TC, the third off a little bit further away. Again, 2 berry bushes. There's the deer patch here as well for DauT, and he does have a load of turkeys scattered around as well. If we put Fog of War on, we can see his scouting as well. Regarding gold then, let's have a look at where their gold positions are. DauT does have back gold here, and he has his second gold on the front. As far as I can see, that's about it for him, gold wise. There's another one over in towards sort of the centre of the map over here as well. Viper's gold on the front right here, as well as on the front again for his second gold, so quite a lot of front gold for him, though saying that it's not too far out from his town centre anyway, so he could potentially have this gold pretty safe if he maybe puts a TC on there later, or maybe even a tower if necessary. With Yucatan, it can be very easy to wall. A lot of the times there is actually a small sort of river or a lot of choke points on this map going through the centre of the map. However, it does look like this one is going to be fairly open. As you can see, this area here is very open indeed. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare to wall this off, and that is pretty much the centre of the map between the 2 players' bases. So this is what I think is going to be a slightly different kind of Yucatan. Yucatan can end up being, you know, quite a late post-Imperial game, and with Mongols usually it ends up being Mangadai and Hussars that come out. So we'll see exactly how that goes. TheViper already taking actually some there we go, let's show I've got the right person, taking some gold, and he is actually going to go and build himself a barracks right there. So he is going to go and do a drush, so that's going to be kind of interesting. See if he can actually make much of it. As you can see, the pure and sheer amount of food that he has available to him is really suited for drushing on this map. It's just whether or not he's going to be able to make all that much of it. I mean, he can end up sending 3 or 4 militia over to DauT's base, harassing his wood over on this area here, and really starting to slow him down. But the fact that he's going for a drush does indicate that he will go for a fast castle, and on this map it's a little bit, well, should you go for the drush and the fast castle, or should you just do a fast castle? Because obviously there's so much food available to you, and with the hunt speed bonus that the Mongols get, they are capable of doing an incredibly fast castle time even without the drush. So we'll see exactly how that one goes down. In the last game we did see DauT do a drush on the Arabia Hun War. However, so far he hasn't built himself a barracks, he hasn't taken any gold from what I can see, and you can see Viper here with his scout cavalry near this gold. He's probably checking himself to see if any of this gold has disappeared. It hasn't though. So that does mean that at this stage it's very unlikely that DauT is going to drush, as he would most likely have his barracks up by now, or at least starting to build it by now. We see the first militia coming out for the Viper. DauT knows it's coming. He's got his scout in position. He can see the barracks already, and he will be well aware of this. It looks like the Viper going to build his houses over the front here so that he can secure this gold behind his buildings. Obviously he doesn't want to build behind them, or if he puts houses here and here, for instance, archers, for instance, could get on the other side of this gold and hit his gold collectors. So he's going to build his buildings on the front there. We can see already that DauT is keeping tabs on where these militias are going. You can see 2 and 3 coming in, so he's going to keep his eye on that. Fortunately for DauT, there's already a Jaguar getting in the mix, doing some damage to the militia, and of course DauT is going to want to make sure these guys are damaged as much as possible by the time they even reach his base, so that if they do attack his villagers should be able to deal with them fairly easily. This militia already below half health already. And now we see a barracks going up from DauT already, but it's not that early. I think that he put this barracks up a little early so that he could maybe make some militia if things do go south, but he's already up to the feudal age, so once he does get feudal, he could very easily add in a stable or an archery range and make some archers or some scout cavalry. I always say light cavalry for some reason. I mean scout cavalry. The Viper, though, looking to get some picks over here. He's already hit a couple of these deer so that they cannot be gathered by DauT. DauT has so far though not lost too much gathering time, not really lost much at all. We see him adding in a stable right now, and he is going to go for a couple of extra scout cavalry by the looks of things. It's no real big deal for DauT at the moment though. I mean, so far he's lost a little bit of village gathering time, but he's not lost any villagers. He's not actually suffered too many losses. So if I was in DauT's situation right now, I wouldn't be too concerned at all. He's already up to the feudal age, and the Viper has only literally just clicked up, but if we have a look at how much food he has at this stage, he is way behind in food in comparison to DauT, who is already queuing up 2 scout cavalry. And once he actually gets these 2 scout cavalry out, he should be able to clean this up from the Viper very quickly indeed, and potentially even go and harass over at the Viper's base as well. This deer patch, for instance, very far out from his base, and if we have a look at the DauT's point of view, we can already see that he knows these deer are being taken, so this is probably where he's going to try and harass first, as that is furthest from the Viper's base. Maybe he will be able to get a villager, though it's probably unlikely. Viper already moving his militia and his scout back, so that if DauT does try anything, he's going to have his villagers there, and his army there, and he can try and stop DauT from coming in doing any damage. Turkey's just finished up for DauT right now. We'll see what he tasks these villagers to in just a moment. He's going in towards... he's going to take wood. He's going to go in towards the Viper right now, see if he can do much at all. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to kill off anything for the time being, but he is continuing to make scouts. There's 4 on the map right now, and obviously no upgrades there just yet. He's probably going to try and get a reasonably fast castle time, I imagine. Though for the time being, with making scouts, that is certainly going to slow him down. Scouts, of course, costing quite a lot of food, and preferably not what you want to be making if you want to go for an even faster castle time. Though if we do have a look at DauT's side of the map, he isn't actually taking any gold yet, so perhaps he's going to stay feudal for a little longer. We'll have a quick look at what the Viper is doing. He is going to add a blacksmith and a stable, so a fast castle is certainly on the cards for him. But if you bear in mind now that if he does go for a fast castle, DauT is going to have these scouts up. He is going to be able to do quite a lot of harassment with them, and it's going to be quite hard for the Viper to wall off fully here. As we can see, villagers fairly low on health, 8 HP on that villager right there, and we can see DauT already sees the stable and the blacksmith from the Viper. We can also see spearmen coming out, and that's pretty a good choice for the Viper, obviously. Going to be able to try and deal with these scouts as best as possible. Losing 2 scouts to the spearmen there. This spearman going to get taken away. Reasonably good micro from DauT there. bringing that scout away so that it avoided getting hit a couple more times, leading the Viper on. And for the time being, it looks like Viper is just going to stick with his fast castle. I mean, he's managed to deter DauT a little bit. DauT taking the lead with score, probably because of units killed and lost. But for the time being, Viper just going to play kind of passively here and click up to castle right about now. Funk Soul Brother, we're looking at the wrong oh no, we are not looking at the wrong person, we are looking at the Viper indeed. So he's just clicked up to castle right now. The Viper is already up. DauT, on the other hand, adding in an archery range at the front here and starting to take a little bit of gold. And now, considering how fast DauT got up to the feudal age, he could already be castle now had he not made those scouts, but instead he's going to stay feudal for the time being, work on building up his economy, and he's actually starting to add in archery ranges. He's going to try and keep this in the feudal age. He knows that the Viper is going up to castle age right now. He must know. I mean, look at the difference in score. That can only really be explained by the Viper clicking up, losing all those resources, and not having any military. Managing to pick off one villager. The Viper with a quick wall here, though, not going to let him in and harass his wood on that side. But DauT is going to hang around with his scouts, see what he can pick off. The Viper, though, nicely walling in, and DauT isn't really going to be able to do all that much without getting in range of this town centre right now. So this is pretty nice for the Viper for the time being, it seems. DauT already adding in more archery ranges and creating some archers right now. Now, sometimes you do see archers, then crossbows from Mongol players. Then they transition once they get up to the castle age to making Mangudai and then hussars once they get up to Imperial. But it looks like DauT is going to stay feudal for now, continue to make some archers. Who'll potentially upgrade those to crossbows once he reaches castle. We'll have to wait and see. But Viper's economy starting to look a little messy now. He's got a few idle villagers around, but he's not really lost too much villager gathering time. Putting that villager inside the TC there real quick just to make sure that DauT didn't pick it off. It was quite low on health. And going to move back to take some wood on the backside right here. Castle age for the Viper, and this is pretty troubling for DauT right now. I mean, he still hasn't clicked up to the castle age. His army is going to be composed of scout cavalries and archers, and the Viper now going to be making knights, and he's added a camel in there as well. So it's knights and camels from the Viper versus scouts and archers from DauT, though DauT does have a small advantage in the fact that, yes, he has got more army at the moment, but the Viper adding in camels and knights should be able to deal with this relatively easily, actually, and adding in 2 town centres as well. Looks like Viper's just going to be working on his economy for the time being. The one thing I do note, though, here is that he's built these town centres incredibly early, and if we have a look at his food income, he's actually got very, very little food income at the moment. He's got, what, 4 villagers on berries and 2 farms. That's it, and he's just making 2 more town centres, so his villager production is going to be halted here. I think he's going to be really struggling to actually keep villagers under production. He's got very little wood at the moment, potentially a few too many villagers on gold for the time being, which is going to really stop his production of knights and camels. So DauT actually in a reasonably good situation here, actually, though he doesn't actually have the better army. Viper is really slowed down economically here, as he can't keep his town centres working constantly, and he can't make much more military either, as he really cannot afford it at this stage. So DauT looking reasonable. He's going to keep the Viper cooped up in his base. Whether he's going to be able to do much damage or not, I don't know. I really don't think he's going to be able to do so much damage. The Viper just playing very defensively here. But yeah, idle TC is not so good at all. Back at Viper's base, we can see a lot of farms coming out now. Sorry, DauT's base. We see a lot of farms coming out now. He's already clicked up to the castle age, and have a look at that population. It's 46 to the Viper's 41. So DauT with a slight lead, though arguably he does have a lot more military here, taking down that camel. And afraid I missed that. I can't see where his knights are. 2 knights over here. The Viper going to see if he can well, find out exactly what DauT is doing, potentially harass a little bit back at his base, but DauT going to send back his units to deal with that, it seems, and he's not really going to be able to get all that much done over at the Viper's base. Anyway, the Viper now just working on his eco, continuing to do that, but still having idle TC time. I mean, he's built these TCs, they've been idle for quite a while, and that is slightly worrying, to say the least. Spearman from DauT, though, going to be able to deal with these knights fairly easily, I think. Perhaps a little bit of an overreaction to send his entire army back, but better be safe than sorry, I suppose. Siege Workshop going up for the Viper right there. He could potentially make some mangonels to defend with. He's already seen that DauT has made some archers, so he could upgrade those to crossbow, though. I mean, he's only made 2 archers at the moment. Blacksmith going down for DauT as well. He's researching bloodlines, so he can make some knights of his own once he reaches the castle age, and it's actually likely that he will do that. We'll see very shortly when the blacksmith goes up what upgrades DauT actually goes for here. If he goes for fletching, then he will make some more archers, upgrade to crossbow. If he goes for defensive upgrades for knights, for instance, then he will most likely go for knights. There we go, scale barding armor. We'll see some knights coming in from DauT very shortly, and you know what, I think he's actually going to be able to outproduce the Viper here. Even though the Viper's been up to castle age for quite some time, his knight count is very, very low. Having a look at his military stats, he actually only has 1 knight right now and 2 spearmen. So it's really not looking so good. In fact, well, actually no, he only has yeah, he has 1 knight out somewhere. There it is. So at the moment he's really, really far behind in military. Though he is working on his economy with 3 TCs, he's really actually been quite behind this game, I'd say. Viper actually managing to kill a few archers there. It's kind of okay for DauT, though. He's not going to be upgrading to crossbows anyway. And as you can see, creating knights 2 at a time. Still only on the 1 TC. The second one just going up right now. And arguably, DauT sort of playing from behind economically, but he is taking a military advantage now with 4 knights out already, and he's going to try and pick off and do what damage he can to the Viper's economy and to the Viper's base. So far we see +1 defense, no +2 just yet, and if you're planning on raiding with knights, +2 is really a necessity. We're seeing the Viper making some camels right now, which are great for defensive purposes, especially at killing off knights, as camels are super effective, you could say, against knights. They don't make good raiding units though, so Viper not going to be able to send over a counter-attack if he does continue to make camels. But for the time being, DauT really starting to outnumber Viper's army here, and Viper still not being able to keep his stables running effectively, still with some idle TC time as well. And it's getting a little bit worrying because although he has been up to the castle age much sooner, and he did actually get his TCs up sooner, DauT's TC hasn't been idle, and he's actually going to be starting to really catch up if the Viper has too much more idle production time. We see a monastery going up for the Viper right now, so it's a good choice to make a monastery. If your opponent is making a lot of knights, then monastery is great. It does mean you can get some conversions and really turn the tide of the battle around. So that's going to be good. Knights and, sorry, not knights, camels and monks coupled with a mangonel. He might actually be able to do quite a lot of damage, but DauT playing so aggressively here, and considering he's fighting under the shadow of the Viper's town centre, he is playing this one extremely aggressively, and I kind of like to see this. Viper losing quite a lot of military here, losing his knights and his camels very quickly, and if he continues to lose much more military, it's going to be so easy for DauT to just harass. +2 is done on DauT's knights now, so he is going to take very little damage, well, very little damage comparable to what he was taking before from this TC fire, and he's just continuing to raid and raid. He's taking out the whole of the Viper's army right now. And he's still getting in there, trying to do what damage he can. The Viper doesn't have fletching yet, so he isn't going to be doing much damage to these knights at all. Now they do have +2, and if you are being raided by knights, it's always a good idea to get fletching, because it does affect your buildings as well. It does mean that these TCs are going to be a lot more effective at killing the knights that are basically raiding your base, but DauT still being so persistent in here, these knights staying alive for so long, and the Viper still not researching fletching just yet. He can't afford it now, right now, so DauT being able to pick off a couple of villagers so far. He's really preventing the Viper from gathering much resource at all. I mean, these TCs with a lot of villagers gathered inside. Back at DauT's base, he's got his second TC up and running quite nicely. He's still only on the 2 for now, but it's absolutely fine because his villagers are working consistently. More knights coming over from DauT, managing to pick off villagers fairly easily. There's another one going down, and continuing to keep these TCs idle. If you have a look at how many villagers are in each of these TCs, Viper's sitting on 3, 6, 12, 13. He's sitting on about 35 to almost 40 idle villagers right now. So that is a huge deal, and Viper not even managing to get that conversion there, making a couple more camels, trying to counter this, but DauT continuing to send knights in 2 at a time. The focus here really is on the Viper's base, and he's even adding in a 4th town centre now, just for that extra defence, and it's certainly a little worrying to see him having to play so defensively like this. I know he's not really the kind of player who wants to play super defensively, and I think DauT has really sort of rustled him, shook him up a little bit here with the aggressiveness. Look at this, a lot of idle villagers in the Viper's base, going to get them back to work as he sends some more villagers over here to build yet another town centre. One thing I have noticed though is that Viper's TCs have all been placed against wood here. He's not placed any TCs against gold at all, and that could be a little bit of a problem. He's not really got much gold at all, and this palisade here only on 75 health, so I mean DauT could potentially break in here and deal damage to these villagers. They're not protected at all, and Viper really is going to have to protect his gold as much as he can. So DauT continuing to keep the pressure on, sending knights over 2 at a time, continuing to do that. Looks like Viper should be able to defend reasonably well now though. He does have plenty of knights out, well, a few knights out, a couple of camels as well, and this monk now as well. So that should work out fairly well, but Viper here, sending his villagers back, I mean that didn't really work out very well for him at all. Trying to get that town centre up, ending up losing a couple of villagers to say the least, and again, yet more villager idle time. I'm going to have a quick look at DauT's base right now. The 3rd stable going up for him. The 3rd TC is also up as well, and he's already started to take stone. Once you do get up to the Imperial age, or once you start reaching the late castle age, it is very important to get those castles up, and DauT is already taking stone right now, so he will be thinking about getting his castle up very shortly. The Viper has been taking stone for quite a while now. We saw this 4th TC go up. He could have had a castle up already had he not built that TC, but he's going to have 650 stone just now. We'll see if he does put a castle up straight away. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, though he is a hell of a long way from the Imperial age right now. Very low on food indeed, not much gold so to speak of either, and considering how much military he's had to make and how much military he's going to have to continue to make, he will be quite a way away from the Imperial age for some time. Castle going up on the front, that's a good decision. It's going to help him to secure this gold a little bit further once he reaches the later stages of this game. Of course, he didn't put a TC up on there, so a castle is going to go up instead, and he should be able to keep these villagers safe. But for the time being, only 4 villagers gathering gold right now, and he is so far from the Imperial age at this stage. It is kind of worrying. DauT, plenty of gold already in the bank, so he's going to be set for that. He just needs to get the food in, and looking at his farms, he does have plenty of food income at the moment. He's continuing to build his 4th TC right now, just going up, and he'll probably make some more farms there as well. Plenty of gold income though, and that's really important. The more gold he has, once he reaches the Imperial age, the better. He's going to be able to upgrade and build those really expensive Mangadai and upgrade them as much as he can as well very quickly, as well as of course upgrading to the Imperial age, which is going to be on his mind right now. A little bit messy farm placement there, but I can't really pick and poke that much, as well, my farm placement isn't much better myself, to be honest with you. Under pressure, I suppose, it's very easy to make a misclick and place a farm perhaps where you didn't mean to. At this stage of the game though, DauT really is sort of behind in military now. He's done a lot of harassment. He keeps sending knights over to the Viper's base, and granted, yes, he does keep losing his knights, but it's keeping Viper on his toes. It's making Viper play very defensively, and it is causing the Viper to make a lot of military as well, which of course again is going to slow him down into the Imperial age here. DauT just collecting up relics as well. But right now, I mean, Viper would be in a very good position to actually play this very aggressive, sort of go in again with a counter attack, start to push into DauT's base, because I mean really, other than these 5 knights right here and a couple of monks, DauT really doesn't have all that much. He has got a large amount of economy, a very huge amount of economy even, and that does mean that he is going to be in a great position to actually, well, just attack once he gets up to the Imperial Age. He's going to have the eco for it. Whether or not Viper's actually going to do much to stop him, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, at the moment he has built camels, and that's a problem. Camels do not make good raiding units at all. Knights, however, do, and knights over here starting to take out a lot of villagers on this stone, and this is the problem of well, not having much military once you get to this stage of the game. DauT having to bring over knights right now, but losing a few villagers there, a little bit unnecessary, I suppose. I mean, he did have stone back over here that he could have built another camp on, but oh well, I suppose. He's going to send them back anyway, as he does have knights in the area now to deal with that. Castle going up on the front for DauT as well, and right now his economy is absolutely huge. 4TC is really working hard. Same for Viper though. I mean, his economy's probably about on par with DauT right now. Another TC up on the front. This castle still here for the time being in that defensive position. Castle going up for DauT as well. There's the first castle for him, and of course castle's really important in Mongol wars, as you do need them to create the Mangudai, because the Mangudai is really the powerhouse or the power unit that the Mongols do use. So castle is going to be extremely important. DauT here is almost got enough for his second, or almost has enough for his second castle. Looks like he's going to build it potentially on this hill, and this hill kind of important. It is directly in between the two players, and if he puts the castle up on there, it's going to make it a lot more hard, or a lot more difficult even, for the Viper to push this position, and that is exactly where he is going to put his castle. 4 monks as well, so DauT's going to be able to get a couple of conversions if Viper does decide to go aggressive, and it doesn't look like he will. Right now, DauT really does seem to be in a good position. He's already clicked up to the Imperial Age. The Viper's clicked up as well, but he is slightly further behind. And looking at his resources and his economy right now, just have a look at that and compare it to what DauT has. He's got a little bit more wood. He's been spending that quite nicely. A little bit more gold as well, but he's already started creating the Mangudai. And if we have a look over at the Viper's side, he only has just started creating them now as well. But second castle is going to be up for DauT very shortly. University going up there as well as an archery range. So the upgrades are going to be coming in very quickly for DauT, and he will be creating Mangudai from 2 castles very shortly. I want to have a quick look at their eco. It's kind of hard to see exactly how much they've got, because it doesn't show you a total. But villager wise, we're looking at 120 there for DauT. Viper on 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I'd say he was a little bit further behind. He certainly has a few more idols. But villager count wise, it does look like DauT is in the lead, so he should have the better economy going into the Imperial Age. As I said, creating Mangudais from 2 castles right now. The second castle from the Viper's got to be on its way soon, surely. He just needs another 40 stone, and he's going to be there. Harassment coming in again from DauT. He's going to make use of these knights, because he's not really going to be making knights once he gets up to the Imperial Age, so continuing to raid and keep the Viper trapped in his base, and really give himself the map control by pushing out on the front here. The third castle for DauT going to go up right here, and once that's up, it's going to be a 2 to 3 castle advantage to DauT. Not to mention the fact that he has just just advanced up to the Imperial Age. I think a little bit of a surprise here. Trebuchet's going to be the first thing that come out, as well as no doubt upgrades at the blacksmith bracer being researched and the like. But lots of Mangudai for DauT already. Knights in here as well, and it's looking like DauT is going to be in a great position as he reaches the Imperial Age now. This castle about to go up. The Trebuchet's already coming out for DauT. He's going to try and take down and prevent these castles from the Viper as much as he possibly can. The Viper though, lots and lots of resources in the bank. He just needs to be able to spend them. Husbandry just being researched at the stable. Blacksmith wise, bracers just being researched as well. He does have, of course, the Imperial Age upgrade completed now. This castle should go up, which is going to deter DauT slightly from using his Mangudai. He's going to, of course, going to want to keep them safe. but Trebuchet's already out for DauT right now. Having a quick look at the university, not sure if ballistics has already been researched. Judging by the amount of gold and food and wood that the Viper has, I imagine it has already been researched, but right now looking a little bit worrying for the Viper. 2 castles to DauT's 3, but he does have a lot of resources in the bank, he just needs to be able to spend them. Trebuchet is being built right now as DauT continues to make trebuchets, and really it's just going to be who has the most trebuchets at this stage. I mean, standing behind your castles with more trebuchets really just put you in a stronger position, as the Mangudai really can't do much against the trebs when they're behind the castles. Pardon me. 4th castle going up for DauT right now. And I'm very, very concerned for this castle from the Viper here. He's got a lot of villagers repairing that, but it's inevitably going to go down. We can only see right now that it is going to go down. Chemistry being upgraded for DauT right there as well, and he really does have a lot of trebuchets right now. That is 6 trebuchets right there, and DauT managed to take out that castle as well. This is a huge deal, because having 4 castles as opposed to your opponent's 1, well, that obviously just means that you're going to be able to outmass Mangudai extremely easily. You're going to be able to continue the production of trebuchets very easily. I imagine the next thing to go is going to be this town centre, and if that town centre does go down, the Viper's going to struggle to take gold here as well. Mangudai is coming in from DauT to try and take down these trebs, and it looks like he's going to be able to potentially pick 1. Villagers coming in to repair, but DauT's going to get it, and the Viper now forced away from this TC as well. So many trebuchets coming in from DauT, and this TC potentially going to go down, but it looks like, yeah, he's going to go for the castle first, and I don't blame him. If he stops Viper from creating any trebuchets, then this game is just going to be a walkover. Viper now starting to produce a lot of archery ranges. He knows that if he loses this castle, he's not going to be able to make Mangudai, and he knows that DauT will have a lot of Mangudai, so he's going to go for skirmishes, which is the logical thing to do, I suppose, in this position. Researching elite skirmisher right now, padded archer armor coming in as well, and he will have to make a lot of skirms to deal with this, as he really has no castles right now. Adding in stables at the back, the problem is he's population blocked as well, as he has just lost 2 castles. He's about to lose a town centre, and Viper is not going to be able to make any military at all for a while. He's desperately trying to make houses, he's desperately upgrading units here. Light cavalry has been upgraded, Hussar probably going to be upgraded very shortly, but really a bad position for the Viper to be in now. He just cannot create any units. He has no military at this stage, so to speak of. A couple of skirmishes really isn't going to cut it against this many Mangudai, and DauT is creating Mangudai so quickly, so easily, rolling his trebuchets up, and I really can't see the Viper managing to stay in here. A castle going up right at the back of his base, but it's probably a little bit too late at this stage. I mean, he's got so much gold and so much wood, but he just can't spend his gold in this position. He's lost his castles, and DauT, with an incredible play, managing to just keep the pressure on and just be really aggressive. His really I would say at this stage won him this game. I mean, just look, Viper has no military at all. Mangudai is able to shred through skirmishes if there's enough of them as well. Plenty of upgrades on there, and the Treb's going to come in now. This castle going to go down. Well, he's not going to take that castle, he can't see it, but he's going to take the TC, and I think it's going to be GG from Viper very shortly here. He's backed into a corner. DauT is taking the extra golds and the extra stones on the edges of the map. He really is in control of this game. Stables coming up as well, so Hussars are going to be coming in fairly shortly. We see light cavalry already from him, and at this stage there really is so little that the Viper can do. His eco being destroyed by the Trebs right now. He sees the castle as well, so that's going to be the next thing to go. DauT population capped on 200 population, the Viper on 152 with very little military at this stage. He's got to know it's over at this stage as well. He's forced away from gold. He's only got a tiny amount of gold at the back. He's got a lot of gold in the bank, but no food, so to speak of. Really not a lot of food, and that's going to mean he can't make many skirmishes. It's going to mean he can't make many light cavalry, and when you're fighting against soon-to-be Hussars and Mangudai, there's so little that you can do against that. Hussar upgrade completed for DauT right now, and even with the skirmishes, DauT is going to absolutely rip through the Viper's army. His population likely to plummet right now. He's still population capped on 150. And DauT just going to absolutely wreck his base. The Viper resigning there. That's going to be a victory for DauT then. A very, very nice game from him. So well executed indeed. Those 4 castles so early on, managing to just push the Viper back as soon as he had that advantage, keeping the pressure on, keeping the Viper in his base, and although Viper did have an economy advantage for quite a while, he didn't hold on to it just because of how aggressive DauT played, whilst he was left to boom unharassed back at his base. So there we go, that's game 2, making the series 1-1 for the time being. As usual, I've been Zach, hopefully you've enjoyed watching. I'll bring you game 3 very shortly, so for now I will see you guys next time.